This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
New. Masomo studio boss. Na your Premier League you come there kaka krabi na ye diawie enche bia na some 2 games na eko. But ye nin come nko ye chika has spoken ra. Yakopon si ba be hwe omo na omo nations ehia wo Accra Sports Stadium. It was a game na manfo nyina ehwe se nations ehwe has pe kukulu omatiesi amrenum has for coach Abubakar Watara made sure say enema ne ideas or the game no nyina no ebetimi agile be papa e dia or reverted from the 4-2-3-1 now the baba yara no at some point osaso switch to a diamond midfield of 4 and in the final third about 2 strikers. But here ubenya a 3 typical man midfielder e wa say in Rafael Amponsa ubenya Linda Mtangi esoso mfimfio bi. And of course, Martin Kakari. So, Fifino General, Coach Watara Abubakar Abo Miensa and a ball. Miensa is from Pont. Hamza Isa Kasim Sise 3-man attack in the final third. But Usha has said that changes Kakra because about Thomas Winimi, any upon from me, our 2 central defensive pairing positional. But back to the game of body tia Kumasa and Tekotokonoa. About Thomas Winimi ni Kofi Agbeshima. So Kofi Agbeshima was left out against the nations and or they upon Franny Babishemu. It goes on to confirm comments and man for Ekreka and Nuna Mesado Akohono. David upon Franny Thomas Winimi in a ball and not against the nations. But Osha game now of course so Babaya Ranwa. Now Kofi Agbeshima and of course Thomas Winimi and a ball. So those tactical changes you know of course so game back for nations and coach Kasim Mengo. It was Karim Abdul and a Botched and a ball or double pivot or having some 3 attackers just in front of the double pivot. No, I'm very bad line. So, check all these formations here. Let's just say 2 coaches in a try, say, I'm going to defend it. A good game, Marco could be the opportunity banner 17 winning. Quickly, young Chemibre has spoke as early as the 6th minute. Almost started some creative few chances in the game. And by virtue of that, they had their first goal. But first goal, no come on, and I'm a person because I keep saying, say, go be a besha. Yeah, now you're breaking into sequences. Now, sequence 1. After Hasbrook and your ball now, they had this ball right in midfield. Ball no crowd Linda Mtangi midfield no. But check Linda position by Biojano. Pressure behind in so and it's an area you can talk about 3 players of nations. Omunyina area but at the start of this area and yet me concern. Me concern ni baby area. But a first sequence after as the ball be do but and me issue me concerns power. I mean the defensive zone of nations. So right after this, not me found quite kakra sa highlighted the show. Say watch this zone for me. This is Razak Kasim. Ono baby ojano ane Kasim Sise in ejina. But baby Hamza ejina and I say Kasim ejina. Kasim ewo Hasfolk side. Enna Razak ewo ono no keeper nanim. Nature say rightfully or defending in zone no attack and so baby say ojina naturally. But the other thing I said so the show it was zone and I say there are about 4 players. I'll be taking you more further. There are about 4 players in the area. So 4 players in there. You want to ask for the striker now in Kasim. Wa pick Razak Simpson. So check Razak Simpson since attack and picking in the midst of about 3 other nations defenders. The ball was circulated out wide to Dennis Costa before finally ball no ever box room. Now ball ever box room. Then Kasim and then you no ever keeper him. You saw that. So keeper no pointed at Razak said he made a mistake. So watch it from the other side of the camera. Razak na me pointed show. This is Razak. I had the na Kasim Yansan ho. Entwani Kasim nyina na eba before the ball was circulated out wide to Dennis Kosa. Ball no nyanko. Baby Razak one. The ball was switched out wide here. So watch the 2 players, the striker and the defender. Now show me any movement how the striker got himself out of the shelves of that defender. So camera na dey am why ha Dennis Kosa. But let's watch. Before na ball be drew box no, you can understand the fact say striker na agent one free defender and nsem How did the positioning change? How did it change from this area? I then Razak na babedi the other wrong side of the defense and I keep striker no babedi keeper him. But you know striker move on the blind side of Razak Kasim. Ogas dem fan come blaster there. Let's just say scrutinize the game no. basic positioning principles Razak can find Edma. But first of all, defender no move away from the box and Sana or boxing. I could find the blind side of the central defender. Now a bunny saying no yani busa question say why did you go off? 18 nations any aspect regardless of how you define this game. Let's watch again if you really want to understand this concept of my discussion. Before the ball was floated out wide, 2 players in the general. But how did the defender lose the marking? Ball no a buy no. The whole season busa once Kasim says how many goals. So can say national team now was running for one awareness, your movement, concentration, and your positioning. It has to be top notch because top body and fan could or 29 crowd of blowing says strike and I should away. Look, you can't just go switch off. Oh, I comments and do do the job, but we are done with that goal. You did what that goal home come. Do that goal also so happen at the time and nations a switch off from midfield. Connected to the last sequence, which is the back line or Emma Hamza the ball too. The man for Busa, I go with the effort, and they can Hamza to me tennis, I go with the second Hamza, defenders in the who be. But before the goal was scored, this is Linda Mtangi. So Linda no, and Abubusa say Hamza or Hefa. This is Hamza Isa, the goal scorer. So after some ball no a free chair, then it scores our bar Hamza or no. Hamza and Fana 9 crank no, and or Jai Bonnie Linda. So behind Linda. There was Abdul Karim and now keeping Linda in check. But before the ball got to the hold of Hamza, Uba who said there's another player, midfield partner, me catch us say double pivots. This is in the positioning. So at this point, Yebusa said Butcher is in a higher day. Now Butcher is the pivot one. Near so Yebusa said Hamza no shall go no, or free and shall go no. So watch the 2 players. This is Butcher, the double pivot one, and then this is Hamza Isa. And at this point, me more Razak because Razak is keeping Kasim in check in the box. But this is the double pivot one. The partner no hold more. Why did you leave Hamza Isa so freely? But in your first time, maybe your league in attacker, or more marginal what former monta and former principles in your jumano. The defensive midfielders and a central defenders. In fact, in the final third, they go in your sharia. We don't really discuss how the ball got into the final third. Near boss strike and about but for the defenders, we keep on scrutinizing each and every day the sequences to which the ball got to the back of the net. And here Busa say, defender now you lose one now say, ball on what the chair. Now share how Hamza a 10 defender and the ball no 2-1. No, be say defender idea watch a chip go. But you know, before we talk about a goal being defined as cheap, you must say Hamza 10, a BS this season now. In fact, it was a sublime 10 of a young striker and an OG defender in the film. But I'll be taking you back and I'm the coach say before even the ball got into the box, watch Hamza closely if you're Montino Koramu. And or 10 defender. I mean, it was a top-notch movement from a striker. Now, striker already, Makasa has to function the power. But Mami found come match the 8. Or no, any Kofi Asman. This was a similar issue. Now, Kofi Asman, he's a captain of Mediama. Champions League Mediama corner a striker. How did Hamza handle him? Hamza handle no said your handle, nations defender ya pepe. I mean, or Dibo Chokora box no. This is Kofi Asman. Now Kofi Asman led this race by a meter, having the control of the space here. But the communication between Apia Kubi and Kofi Asman never existed. That gave the opportunity to Hamza Isa and Sana or Tassel Kakra, what Kofi Asman. I'm a catcher, a central defender. So we are soft Emma striker said, yeah. Let's try to go natural. But the 10 in contest, if I compare nations born, so Hamza won 10 will be paying. I mean, it was a defensive split movement from Gledo Tanga, from midfield and Sano, Danibono, and the Atom. But how our 10 no. Now, so when Kofi Asman, like it's easier, say Hamza bet 10 even Boche or box with Mabobo actually because he's been doing it. But apart from these 2 players, Mami San found come match day 25 because we in Swatre. And now, similarly, she Justice Blay, a Kwame Abdul Rahman of Inswatre Efasu Dilia. So, me can want some say central defenders and Omujina. It's my kind nations, the natural. And I'm a cook of Fiasma, and I'm a sad about even moving away from Hamza Isa, the Justice Blay. So, but before that, now sometimes it feels like teams, already go na che. She Abdul Rahman or Nindi Pado was saying the Jina box to for Kumasa Santa Cotro. Before the ball arrives from the wider zone, a deeper 4 years, Montampe and Abdul Rahman of Inswatre and Ojina. Now, the hygienic Kakran say, when you're for in terms of career, he voluntarily chose Justice Blay say Justice Honorman Amepe just as Hamza or handle Kofi Asmano versus Justice Blay or no on Abdul Rahman in the midst of about 3 other players should Justice Blay. He gave the first freedom to the striker and Sana also man of that freedom liberal 10 and Sana Abdul Rahman Epeke Jalad. With a low quality shot. So it told to be a defender and a goal on Bebana channel. 1 year old, I'm going to go and check. Over kind of with ease. No, I cannot call that. These defenders are not really good. The principles, you know, because of the deeper. It told me goes to the crowd somebody actually. But that's got to do with Hamza Issa. That goal, no, anyhow or 10 defender. So I took you back, say, I had the Nanka defender, it should have been from this area. And I said, Hamza moved closely, edging towards baby defender Mobujano. But defender had nothing. I no idea absolutely. Say Hamza, boxing, I be bullying at 10. And I may catch a defender. So they say, central defender there. So be bully lateral screen, yes, central defender. Must strike and tell one can. But look at the cheeky ease with which he was turned. And Sana Hamza the ball. To compare this to that of Mediama. And the crowd there appear could be any Kofias my fast. So this boy, I've told us folks that I'm protecting him. Now I'm sure, but the movement was started by Linda in Tank. But the 10 there. I've shown you that of Justice Blay and Kofi Asma, 2 tough defenders. Any players from what league. Let's talk few things from the league. And Samates, at the top one, Adriana Mediama Nations completes the top 4. Oban Finfian has about 3 points now at Miama in Kranshaka Kraba. 11 in the month of Niagara, 1911 has for Comoda Soda. And we can still say, I failed your numbers now at Tenica, having some 41 points. Hope we'll have for tomorrow, says. It's me at Tenny, but young caught your goal scorers, and so Stephen Mankrana this time, holding the fort for all the strikers, and push up power. Hamza, the main pressure is a young chap, or they compare that players and scorers now, and but there's one aspect of goal scoring, I can say scoring frequency, meaning say, compare Bia Minister Abba. Why not go to and it will still be Stephen Amankona or 135 minutes Biano. SSL go. But Ufri on Augusto crowd, the numbers are good. By virtue of the number of minutes our bono, or 141 Biana or ma go back for Hamza Issa, 64 minutes Biano, Hamza Issa and ma go back. In fact, Osha scoring frequency in the per this, the best 5 strikers were league, you'll be going for Hamza Issa because he has 64 minutes per goal. As just opposed against that of Stephen Amankona on 135 minutes. And Sano Ma go back 183 Mukwala Moto. So now let's talk about Krobia and then a double pivot of Enoch Morrison and Andrews in Timapau in that 4-2-3-1. I'm going to be back weekend week. But are we talking about the last game and the tactics are doctor or the Ecoshia Hasfolk? But the gist of Smartex, among shape of the body season, it can be found in that of Olympics or 2 central players. Smartex, the Amabo said the Dauda and Emmanuel Kayeke. And then the general body you fetch me. No, I'm about 2 on chain and then 2 in the final set, 2 central, 2 out wide, and a 2 top. It means at any point in time you can be talking about 4 attackers, 2 from the wider zones, and then of course no matter add up to 2 no more top no. And no any fidia yana samates omedi you pa. But putting this away, as a sacrabia when you be some repair, I keep saying the most important position on the field, like the zone 14. Sacrabia to be protected on a coin demoa. Olympics might not give you the tough time. I think this is our folk. And the amount of pressure, but the way and manner with which Yana Krabia is defending. In fact, Yana and Shem Cran. Team your banner, you say, or Nusu Biemno, ha Krabiana, or Behajane. Against us, folk, you must sound massacre. So look at the defensive base. How the team has been connected, but me sure say a coin be breed them and found set who say zone ha I a bit condensed and congested by Krobia players, Yeah, I'm say a coin them. So the second ball or technique or precision there, I can achieve hano. Obenya goes to pa. First round of the season, not Krobia fouls away in our ha, but second round on Tanya fouls or Angela. But then, now touch chances pa. Chances are to say, Obit says there's a young ball in the final 10 nobody release, he keeps the ball for far too long. A bonusani pressing a pet, not pressure about team so. Now I keep saying, how a team's in defending is quite different from how a team's in attacking. Now coaches be brave how more in the final 10, but be a coaches don't want to someone make catch or more working on men can say issues o mo team no ya na enye in the final third ya na a defensive third attack and the ball turn it but how to defend with absolute strength no eno ne ade aya na eha Kumasa Sante Kotoba. So my draw map na chiro ba hwe area had these are the only two players of Sematics and obehu omo. Apart from that obia wu na aye Krobia players, but just these two players ombetimi make a chance as against 7 from here. And the money me wan kakra. Kotoko can be connected in this zone. Talk about just these two players. Going to be create chance against Krobia. In Olympics, you might say so almost struggle for more. You might say they're not really performing well. And I'm catch on. Two players were creating one-on-one situations with the goalkeeper. So I keep saying, Olympics are not really performing as they used to do. The days gone by, no more top 4. And the other thing I'll be saying is, apart from the mythful shallowness, na walk Krobia team no counter there a di Krobia pa every time. Who say I'm attack, where they highlight the Olympics and Mama have Krobia said Krobia has for no. They might not really intensify the game as compared to Kumasi Sante Kotoba has for game no. It has its own pedal, but Olympics will be coming like a real force. Or one and yabre a jackano and answer by the can bon a chikakra. Olympics at the relegation zone, they have a means of going within their 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. And Panisana, I am telling you, what does say one about creating those chances? Or Krabiana de Bemamo, Olympics will have their chances. I mean, fair share of more chances when they are Kumasi Sante game. But Macan defenders in the Bemamo, and now one about building 2 short passing sequences. About creating chances in the final third. Olympics this season. I've created a lot of chances, but who to put the ball at the back of the net? And the issue no. Now me they all confident deeper. How much chance am creating? No, don't do na wider zone so no creating the back. I mean 80% of our teams in the local league. Omo boss be no from China eba. Now your number 10, your number 8, papa mo crab or the eba now. Don't do send your. So usually fullbacks and wingers and Dawson. And for that reason, Diana and Nasa Olympics air bounce to be a general or China eba. Usually their wingers have been very flamboyant and very quick on the counter attack. But the club to me, that defensive strength or the body as for are repeating itself against Olympics here. Then I can say in the final third, Mukwala will be having his chances against Olympics. But the defenders will stay very resolute. My chances kakra no benyano emba no eno ne asem no na ma me halate ade kakra bi na me fanchira wade kakra we ye nsuatre ne Olympics. So checking nsuatre for the door box no na check Olympics jerseys awu and we are talking about just 2 players of Olympics in the box. Now a bunny say na me ka ho asem chiro say enye nipa do wo box room, but how many players are ready for this particular chance? So white be brave but ready do say no, you can see one here and then you can find the other one here. Yet me see where your Olympics chance because they don't really attack with large numbers. Now Sadia no so etimi Krobia pa. Sometimes you see them in the box. Say more box room be brave but go no enya bankwan dia ball no e beton it. Now watch that of Olympics. Na share the Heart of Lions at the Krobia. Every time when the second balls rebounds and short keepers na spelling a filter box in one. It feels like Obiani. This is another goal of now faculty to Olympics zero. Born con China eba na yakan dia tonet. This is a similar part in Olympics. Eddie Ashe go this season. Apart from this, from Heart of Lions, general, other teams so they Krobia pa. They always take advantage of the laterals. Not the sloppy nature of the central defenders and the ball later. Boxing opponents. I mean, look at this organization. Yana a poor. We can talk about this and this season Olympics also as I press it. Kotokoni Dr. Ogumo build a short fletcher, but when you're careful. Now Olympics or one striker back. Michael Osei, he's the face of their team, he's the leader of the attack, and every time out wider, there's another player, a friend Agama. This is Agama. He arrives around the box very late. And one of the skillful players were league him. This is Agama. So Agama coupled with Michael Osei. Olympics might be going to relegation. They might. But I'm telling you, sir, almost so quality players. Team. And Nuntino, Saudi Kasi Money, then I'm telling you, sir, Olympics so general against Krobia. So Krobia would maybe as how to stop them from their wider channels. And we are one. And how to stay very clean within their own box. Other than that, Olympics, a form of modern position, Krabia fans a quite different game from these guys. I think Krabia win the game, 3-1 might be the scoreline, but me to me say Olympics and Shego El Babaya Sports Stadium. Defenders of Kotoko, more confidence, but crosses there. Olympics is superb and top notch. Michael say Dr. Gumpesa or keep your be shot in the game. It should be that Michael say this goal scorer. But Olympics person nya Krabia there. Hammer fullbacks na crosses in there more than 90 minutes. Dr. Gumho no. But on this note, Majai actually Eddie say Joe na what to show no so the free. And I wish the two teams the very best of luck. Na me adon ochna ye nyina be stadium ho. Boss, mama na actually na me fama na kakram de ma two teams me fancy.
Obi na se me kan message we wan ka se me kan kra o se nka we kra de man okay na me hwe new I'll say this. So Newton took Heart of Oaks 2 goals serious to analyze. I'm surprised because if you look at our games from 3 games to the end of the league and what goes on behind the scenes. After those 2 goals, what happened for Razak to win the MVP? Joe, Asemu, Obi Osman Monidi, and I say, you need to be able to prove it, but how did the work and I will analyze it. But so just from 3 games to the end of the season, man, yes, serious analysis of matches in Ubia.
Now, I'll be able to 2 games next year. Now, say me analyze games, see some different labor and one. Yeah, but the last game of the season, say me I see analyzing some evidence of maybe I'll pick the games 1-on-1. Nama fabia each. Unless so because a game where a whole audio, ni whole video, ni say the course. But apart from that, the defenders here, me do coach cross out church will be. Defenders na ya worse as in say. So general, there now the big just because game we won is general.
Enti yamra Newton ye bedase. And said they will see who games and now they want some a brand new and na